Folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at Kibble Scuffle. Now this is pretty much off my beaten path, so to speak, because it's a card game. It's a little bit of a take that card game, and it has cats in it. And you might be wondering, well, if this isn't on your beaten path, then why, oh why are you reviewing it? Well, I like to depart from my beaten path every once in a while and take a foray. So this is a foray, I guess you could say. But anyway, this is a kind of a smash-up-esque kind of card game. And that's probably one of the reasons why it kind of appealed to me to do a review of it, because I do like Smash Up. I have enjoyed it a lot in the past. But it is a very, 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 very light version of Smash Up. So there is a similarity there, but I'm not going to be making a full-on comparison. But with that having been said, let's go ahead and get down to the table. We'll take a look at it, come back with some final thoughts in just a few moments. And so here's a 3-player game of Kibble Scuffle set up for you. You randomly put 4 food cubes in each of the 3 bowls that are out on the board. The rest of the food is in the box here, which actually acts as the food container from which you're going to be pouring food into the bowls. Each player takes their respective deck, the color that they've chosen, and they deal themselves out 5 cards to be their starting hand. Now, the point of the game is to get to 20 points, to be the first person to get there. And what will happen here is that you're going to be eating, your cats are going to be eating food from these bowls, and each of the different colored cubes are worth a different number of points. For example, brown ones are worth 3 points, the orange ones are worth 2 points, and the natural wood colored ones are 1 point. Now the game is played out in a number of rounds where you're going to be playing cards from your hand to these different bowls that are out at the out on the table. And then once one of the bowls has 5 cats around it, then a feeding phase is going to trigger, during which the cats will eat, and there can be multiple bowls that have 5 cats at them, depending on the different effects that the cards will have. Then after the feeding phase is over, the kibble box is passed to the next player, and then another round begins. Now, as you can see, there are different abilities that are on these cards. So, for example, a Fraidy Cat says, if an ability causes Fraidy Cat to leave a bowl without eating, remove all food from the bowl. All right, so this will happen during the feeding phase. This one here says Big Eyes Cat. It says add 2 random food cubes from the food bowl to this bowl. So when these cards are placed down on the bowls, these are carried out when they would carry out. They're carried out immediately if they don't give a different kind of delineation when they do carry out. So as we begin here, green player who has the box first will play a card and then carry out the effects of that card, and then blue player will do the same thing, and pink player will do the same thing, and so forth and so on, until one bowl has 5 cards around it. Now, as you're going through the placement phase, there are some cards that are items or effects that when a player places it out, they're also going to be playing another cat from their hand. This is just an effect that will go into effect for the bowl that they play it on, and then once it is taken care of, it goes away. So what happens here now is a feeding phase begins, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cats at this bowl. Now, what this will do here is that when Mama Cat was played out, however, this was the last card that got played, it says another cat immediately eats from this bowl. So blue player is going to have their alley cat eat the 3-point cube here and put it in front of them just like that. And then after resolving Mama Cat's ability, we actually go into the eating phase, feeding phase, because all of these cats are still here. There is importance of noting here that there are priority placement cards. So the alley cat here is actually going to eat first. Normally it's the person whoever has the kibble box, one of their cats will eat first, but because the alley cat has priority placement, they're going to eat first, and so that alley cat will take one of these guys here, and then he is removed from the bowl and placed back into the discard pile. And then we come back to the first player, green. Green will go ahead and have their Big Eyes Cat eat one of these orange ones. And then we come to blue. Mama cat's going to eat an orange like so. And then pink over here will have their Big Eyes cat eat one of these guys here. And then the house cat will also eat, and come over here, this thing. Now, all of the cats are gone. All of the food is gone. There aren't any other bowls that have 5 cats around them, so we don't need to worry about those. And so that ends the phase. At the end of the feeding phase, any bowls that are empty will have 4 cubes randomly put back into them. And then we have less than 5 cards in our hand. Everybody draws cards to bring them back up to 5. The box, the kibble box, is passed to the next player in order, and we continue with another placement phase. And this is how the game continues until one person has 20 points of cubes in front of them, and that person is the winner. So that's about that for Kibble Scuffle. As you can possibly see, if you've played Smash It before at least, you can see the similarity there, where you're placing your characters or your cats at different locations or spots on the board, and they're going to be scoring points in an order from there. So you kind of get the similarity that's there, but I don't think it warrants a full-on comparison. It just has a very similar feel to it, but they are different games. This is very light. Smash Up is somewhat complex, not really, but there's a lot more text involved. There's a lot more things going on, that type of stuff. So we're not going to compare it, but the similarity is there. Now, with that having been said, let's go ahead and jump into my pros. I do enjoy the gameplay. It is fast and it's fun. I like how the different cards can and do interact with one another. There is a take that element that is in the gameplay, and you do need to realize that right off the bat. You might run into some hitches if that is the case with your game group, if someone doesn't like take that games. But again, this is a very light filler, so I don't think that anyone should really be taking it that seriously, but sometimes take that mechanisms just rub people the wrong way. But with that having been said, I do enjoy the gameplay that's here. The take that is there, but it's light in my opinion, so it doesn't really bother me that much, and there's ways for you to recover from it. The other kinds of effects that the cats will have on them are also interesting. They're fun. They provide a little bit of a twist. Some of them take cubes away from the bowl, not from people, but from the bowl. Other ones add cubes to the bowl. Still, other cards, the effect cards, will have something to do where you can play that, have its effect carry out, and then you get to play another cat down. So I do like the card play. It's fun. It's fast. My second pro of the game is, well, the artwork. The artwork is, I think, better than the graphic design. I think the graphic design was a little staunch, a little static, I guess you could say. But I did enjoy the artwork. I am not a cat person, not even close. But you gotta kind of admit, these cats and the artwork that they were employed to make this game is cute. And it's enjoyable, it's aesthetic, so they did a good job with the artwork. The graphic design was a little bit too, I guess, formulaic for me, but the artwork was good, and that's my pro. Component quality also was really high, and that'll be my next pro. They're just wooden cubes, and we kind of get used to saying that they're just wooden cubes because it seems like wooden cubes are used for a lot of different things. But the thing that's really going to up my mentioning the component quality here is something pretty small, and that's the actual box actually being the little kibble carrying. This is the food box, and I like that little addition. I thought it was really cool. I don't recall a game ever using a box in quite that way, where it becomes like, cereal or food or some other kind of thing that's being employed there. I like how it became not just a storage solution, but an actual mechanical part of the game. I like that, and that's what's really putting components on my pros, is the ingenuity that was there to kind of use the box in another way that I hadn't seen before. So with all that being said, I will get to some cons, and really you might be able to pick the cons out just from what I've said already, but The first thing is that take that mechanism, while I think it's light, take that mechanisms are so divisive in games nowadays. I know that one of my sons, he hates take that mechanism. Doesn't matter how light they are. If you can take something from him by just playing a card or just by going, haha, take it and like it, he hates that game now. It doesn't matter how small or how light it might be. So with that being said, I know there are other people out there. It might be a minority, it might not be a minority, but people just don't like having their stuff taken for no reason other than to just take it. So if that is employed in a game, I usually mention it as a con, because I want you to know right on the onset that it's there. And so that might be the one thing that says, sorry, I'm going to pass. Or that might be the one thing that says, hey, that sounds fun. So I do want to mention it. It's a con in my book. It's light, but it is still a con. So there is a take that mechanism there, and it does result in people taking things from you that you have earned previously. So there you have it. My second con is, in my opinion, even lighter than the first one, because it's really dependent upon the actual person. And the reason I mention it is because it almost made me just say, whatever, let's move on. And that is the fact that this is cats. Some people are cats people, some people are dog people, and some people don't care, and some people are in between, and some people are both. And it's just the way it is, right? But I'm mentioning it here just because it's gonna push people away, or it's gonna draw people in, or it's gonna leave people, ambivalent. I think the theme is not anemic, but it's palatable. So it's okay for me. But I realize that for better or worse, the theming could be divisive. So I'm mentioning it with the caveat, it's very light, in my opinion. So there you go. But all in all, I'm going to give Kibble Scuffle a 7 out of 10. I think that it was an enjoyable game. I was not pulled in by the theme, but it also didn't detract from the game's enjoyment for me either. So it's not a big deal. I did enjoy the game. 7 out of 10 is pretty good. I'm not going to say that it is anything more than a light filler, because that is exactly what it is. 14 plus is on the box as far as ages are concerned. I don't think that that's accurate. I think people who are a lot younger than that will be able to play this and really enjoy it. With the caveat there being is that the younger you go, the more hard-hitting that take that mechanism will seem to them, and they may not like it very much, and it will probably garner some stressful conditions. But 7 out of 10 for me from Kibble Scuffle. I did enjoy it. I think if it hits the table again, I'll play it willingly, and I'll enjoy it then as well. Thanks for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care now.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas, for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.